Hello and welcome to No There's Only Trash Here podcast, episode 69. The date today is the 18th of January 2015. So it's the first one of 2015. We decided to come back from the dead. I mean, Joe was being really awkward about when to record these and was being extremely difficult. He kept just referring him or me to his agent, and he wasn't getting the messages through, so that's why it took so long.
I'm sorry if the YouTube stuff turns you into a bit of a diva. I can't help that.
Yes, yeah, right? YouTube funny man, it changed you.
It did a little bit. Yeah, all that no money I've got from it. It really did change me. I'm a different person now.
We've all seen the massive glass banana that you have outside of your mansion that just has alcohol flowing from it, and there's just babes dancing in the fountain around the banana. It's disgusting.
I have a banana-shaped boat.
Yeah?
That's where it's like a party boat.
Oh, right, the MrMuckluckable party boat.
Yes. Yeah. It's going well.
Oh, good. Well,
I mean, don't ask me how I paid for that. I think I'm quite a bit of debt now. No, it's true. People are going to come around and bust my kneecap soon, but it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Because the YouTube money just isn't coming in. But when they do come round, you'll be like, right, let's get the face cam. I've got this. I can bring it back.
I've got plans. Let's just say that.
You got reserves.
Can we wait?
Ticket.
I'm sorry. Let's just get back a little bit.
Sure.
Let's just go way back to the beginning of this podcast now.
Oh, good times.
When was the last podcast?
Oh, the last one. It's been about a month, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Why was that? Why is that?
Well, you probably can guess the reasons, but in case people want to know, well, towards the end of 2014, I kind of was stepping away from YouTube, not really by choice, but life and all that stuff. So, in the summer, I started my job, but I found a rhythm. I got into a real rhythm of recording, making sure I was recording. I managed to pump out reviews quite regularly. It was really quite amazing. But what happened is that was a very delicate balance where I was only just keeping up, really. So then I had a month where I couldn't record at all due to work. At all, just couldn't record. And then that was October. So then it hit November and I just didn't have anything. And then I just had a hard time getting back into it. And then, mostly because of work. And then I moved and it was Christmas and everything. So now that I've moved and everything has settled back down again, we're back. That's pretty much the condensed version of why we had a break and I had a break.
Yeah. So unfortunately, there was no party boat. There was no YouTube money. It's down to depressing real life.
Yes, not drugs. That's what I should have said. It's why you been off? It's I'm on smack. That's just I really let it go to my head, and it's whoa, I went to a place. It was crazy.
It sort of kind of cuts the conversation there as well, quite nicely. You don't want to ask about that.
Yeah, no one cares about smack addictions. You kind of know how it's going.
Yeah.
It's smack. So it's either going extremely well, or depending on how you look at it, extremely badly.
But yeah, that's the reason. And we've missed out on a lot. The world has changed a lot. It's grown up by 1 year since the last podcast,
right.
like you said.
Yeah.
But basically, the world is now a worse place.
Great.
I would
That's
argue.
what we want to hear. Well, because of the Paris thing? I mean...
Because of everything, it's quite bad now, I think.
What?
Wouldn't you agree?
Don't be so negative. I mean, I don't agree. I think everything's pretty good.
I'm just saying, I think... Maybe it's down to the effect of no podcast. Maybe.
Oh.
But the world just seems to have collapsed into terrorism since we've been gone.
Well, I don't want to take credit for the Paris attacks, but it obviously is a reflection of us not doing it. I mean, it's too coincidental. And then also he was just like, "Oh, where's Red Dead?" I heard him say that, but it was in French on the news, so most people didn't pick up on it.
Rouge.
Where is Rouge Dead?
But so now this is back. Hopefully the world can be a better place.
Yeah, I think the balance has been restored.
Yes.
Because there's quite a lot of good, interesting, podcasts out there, but there wasn't quite the balance of mediocre, whatever, not very interesting ones. So we're back to fill that void, so everything can be happy again.
Well, that's lovely. I'm good. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back too. So, I mean, the question is, what have you been doing in this month, apart from the McLuckable party boat?
What do you mean? YouTube-wise?
Yeah, you can start with YouTube-wise. I mean, I don't need to know about your personal life, honestly.
I've been making videos.
Sure.
And
bragging. God.
I've been making videos.
Actually making videos, that thing.
I don't know what's changed since the last podcast. Nothing really, I think. I started Time Splitters on the last podcast, didn't I? Yeah. Or did I?
I maybe just started it.
Yeah, maybe just, but yeah, still doing that. And 4-year anniversary I celebrated last week. So yours must be quite soon.
Yeah, mine's March.
In March, yeah.
So that's nice. Like a month and a bit. But no, 4 years. That is crazy, though, when you look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about it a lot in your video, but just like the things that have changed in 4 years, and the fact that you're still making videos and all that, it is actually quite crazy.
It is. It's I don't know. I think maybe when I stop doing it, I can actually get a proper reflection of it. But at the moment, it seems very. It's like 4 years, but it doesn't really feel like 4 years. I don't know. It's odd.
Well, do you reckon it doesn't feel like 4 years because you've hit the point where it feels like you've always done it, so it doesn't feel that weird?
Yes.
That it's been that long.
Yes, that's it. You're right. You're very smart.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
You're very, very
You're
wise.
waiting for someone to say that. I'm very
actually no, maybe
wise.
Not wise, but
I get lucky sometimes.
I think you're right with that. Yes, it's just something that once you get into the routine of it, it's sort of there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why it seems a bit more crazy to me, just because I haven't been making videos, and then I kind of missed it. But it kind of made me, reflect a bit more on making videos and doing the whole YouTube thing. Because it's like I did want to continue on, and in fact I found it quite frustrating that I couldn't, and that's why it's cool that I'm now back and I'm still doing it. But then it's like, whoa, I've kept it up all these years, although technically I guess I haven't. But still, it's still nice that after this year where a lot of things have changed, I have managed to be like, right, I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Yeah, you've it's kind of been through the tests now, and it's survived.
Yeah.
So it means it's definitely something you want to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, that's about it. Really, not much has changed.
Well, aren't we interesting? Not to judge.
It's only been a month. How much can life change in a month, to be honest?
Well, you said there was terrorism and all that.
Yeah, there has been terrorism, but that hasn't really affected me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, okay, how about this? Have you played any of those video games in the last month or so?
Oh, okay. Oh, those are video games. Yes, I have actually. Yes.
Ooh.
Do you want me to start off with a review? I'll review a game for you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to review PlayStation 4 game.
Oh.
Not Destiny.
Oh.
It's going to be Crime and Punishment Sherlock Holmes. Okay?
Oh. Cool.
Well, it's a thing, right? It did seem quite cool. It's basically a point-and-click game for the PlayStation 4, and you're Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, so far doesn't sound that bad. Sounds good.
And I picked it because I wanted just a different game to play on a PlayStation 4, not just a shooting game or whatever. And you know what? Aside from the fact that it has zero replayability, none whatsoever, and it's probably too easy, and it's got too many loading screens.
Okay.
And the graphics aren't really that good. It's alright.
Wait, so even if you take all those complaints and throw them out the window, it's still only alright?
It's alright. Basically, it was kind of bad, but I only realised that once I'd finished, because it's just too easy. It holds your hand every step of the way about every single clue, so you don't ever feel smart. That's the surely as Sherlock Holmes you want to feel smart. You don't, which is a shame, because this is the first one I've played, because there's quite a few of these Sherlock Holmes games. So Frogware, I think they're called.
Great name.
Yeah, and they've done all these on the PC before. And apparently the older ones are more difficult, so I might play some of those ones. Because, hey, I like Sherlock Holmes. He's a cool character. But no, it's too easy. And there's just no reason to replay it. Because it's all based on who done it. So what I did was I traded it back in, and I bought with the in-store credit Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Hooray!
And Saints Row 2, because that is a fun game.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So, does the game not just hold up on the story? A bit like how Telltale, all those games, gameplay-wise, are very weak, but the story is what makes it?
No, because there's 6 separate cases.
Right.
They're all different stories. Some of them are based on books. Some of them are just made up. But it's not even like... I saw a screenshot of the game, and you're sort of... Or a video, actually. And you're kind of analysing this person's face. Like looking all over... It's like paused in time, and you can look over their face for clues. And I was thinking, oh, that's a bit like L.A. Noire, where you can maybe focus on how their eyes are twitching or something, and that's giving away that they're lying. No. You never use any of the clues that you find. I don't understand where they were going with this sort of idea. All the characters are lame. It's lame. Let's go back to using lame. Yes,
not
lame.
the L word.
Yes, the L word's back.
You monster.
It's lame. The only thing I liked was Sherlock Holmes, the guy who did the voice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he did alright.
I don't know if you can ever really pull off that sort of mystery game. Like, you can have games with mystery, but when a developer so directly goes after that genre of, we're going to lead a player through all the different clues, and they have to the gameplay and the puzzle is going to be figuring out everything and putting it together, I think it always kind of falls flat. When developers are so direct about it, like, they have to kind of take a bit of a step back and just maybe not have it be so integrated in the gameplay if you want a game with a story that is a mystery. I just can't think of one in particular that actually managed to pull off what this game sounded like it wanted to be.
Yeah, I wish it was a full-on... Well, actually, no, the thing that was bad with it, you couldn't be wrong. There was no chance to be wrong with the game.
Oh.
Unlike, I'm going back to L.A. Noire, because that's where it had interrogations. You could go down the wrong track with those things and end up missing a piece of evidence. With this, you can't. If you get it wrong, it just asks you the question again until you get the right answer. That's just silly. That's silly. That just defeats the whole purpose of giving you the choice to pick. That's all I've been playing, though, really, is that one.
I think that would be so much better, though, if it was a whole game where you have the clues, and then the game asks you, what do you think of this? But then the game gives you no reaction to it. And then you just progress on, you get more clues and whatever, and same thing happens. And then at the end, it kind of reveals itself, which, of course, a normal mystery kind of game or story does anyway. like when you're watching a mystery, you're in your head trying to figure out. So I think if a certain game just had the story be a mystery, and then just say, what do you think at this point in time? That could work. That could be really cool.
Sort of like, it could. Do you mean like in Telltale where it says someone will remember this, but you don't know when that's going to come back up?
No, just as in, well, maybe that, or a bit like that, but as in just, it's like, you know, maybe you're the police officer or whatever, detective investigating it, and then the person, like, asks for your report, and then you actually, you know, it gives you all the options. You'll say, I think this happened, and this was the person that did it, and this is how it happened, and then you just submit it, and then at the end of the game you have all these different reports that you filled in based on what you saw, and then, you know, whatever the truth is the truth. It's not reflected in your reports, but you still have it all there as your general thoughts and feelings throughout the game.
So basically, it's like Cluedo.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you check at the end of the cards, how far off were you?
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah. Just go back to board games. I'll just Cluedo the video game.
Yeah, you know, well, enough of these processors. Bring the pen back.
Good old pen. I'm really bad at Cluedo. Have you played Cluedo?
I haven't played it in years. I used to play it, but I never... I liked it when I was younger, but that's because it just kind of appealed to me as being like, I will be the smart kid, and I will figure out who did this. But now it's just like, it's a bit, like you said, lame.
If we're talking about like playing board games as a kid, then the best one was the edible Monopoly.
The edible one?
Yeah, did you never have that edible Monopoly?
Is it just the normal one, but you're a psychopath?
No, it has all the houses made of like candy. Little candy things.
Well, that's fun.
And you can eat them. And I think the money's rice paper.
Okay, so at what point in the game do you eat them?
I don't know. I guess it'd be silly to eat your money.
Yeah, you can't really do that. It's like, right, I'm going to put this in my Monopoly and invest it, and this one's a snack. Perfect. It's a bit like real life, where you got to spend money on food to survive, but then you got to spend other money wisely.
Yeah, it's teaching children valuable lessons.
Exactly, and getting them high on sugar.
Yeah, you got to have that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but, no, I would like... I would have just liked it to be more difficult, really. Okay. At the end of the day, if it was more difficult, I think it would be more satisfying.
Well, to me, it sounds like one of those games where it's not even worth breaking it down too much, because of course it wasn't going to be the intelligent, fun game. Like, you know, all you have to do is look at the box art and be like, you know what, this isn't gonna... It could be a surprise, but it won't be.
The box art, you bring out the box art, it looks... When I picked it up, I was like, oh, Sherlock Holmes. I thought it was a modern Sherlock Holmes. If you look at the cover, there's nothing to say that it's Victorian still. It looks modern day. He's wearing this suit, like seemingly modern suit. No, you're still in Victorian and all the with little kids. Hello, governor.
Hello.
What is his name? Can't remember. Watkin or something. He's a little kid who helps you. Go and find these clues, little boy. That's what he does. Yeah, he gets little kids to do his work for him, basically.
Yeah, it was a different time.
It was a different time, yeah.
A better time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like even just from that premise of we're going to take Sherlock and it's just going to be like just standard Sherlock, which could work, but you know, when you just look at all the pieces of what a game like that is, it's just, you know, that's why the phrase shovelware exists, because you just see it and you just kind of know. And maybe it's not fair to judge something by not playing it, but you know. Yeah. Yeah, I know now. I didn't know then, but I know now. You know, you learned the hard way. Yeah, I did actually. Well, you made your choices. Well, I got a decent amount back for how old the game is. So, I'm pleased with that. Well, yeah, you now have Undead Nightmare. Yeah. For one. Yeah, I will definitely play that soon. See, I brought a copy as well. Because I did have it at one point, because I brought the Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year, but I sold that because I never played it. Like, I brought it being like, I'm going to revisit Red Dead, it's going to be great, I'm going to play Undead Nightmare, and then I didn't, and it was a year later, and I was selling some of my games, so that got thrown onto the pile with it. so I never played it. But I bought it again because I actually am playing Red Dead. I want to play it too. I want to play the Undead Nightmare.
Am I right in thinking it does have a little storyline? It's not just like missions, random killing zombie missions.
Yeah, I think it does. Because it was, its own disc.
Yeah.
That you didn't need Red Dead to play it at all, so I would assume it's self-contained.
That's good.
I mean, it's not going to be the same story. It's not going to be John redeeming himself. It's going to probably involve some zombies, but what are you going to do?
The exact same storyline, but just a zombie John Marston.
And just all the characters burns.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
That could work.
Oh, actually, and while we're just talking about random games now, it seems, I need to apologise to you.
Oh, well, it's about time.
Well, it is actually about time. It's a long time ago we had this conversation, but I have played now the Simpsons game on better generation consoles.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It looks good.
Yeah.
It looks very good, actually.
Woohoo!
I was pleasantly surprised by the graphics.
Yeah, I think they did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could work for a next game like that.
I mean, it's like, the thing is that with the Simpsons Hit Run, I like the way it looks, but it looks more like, not Play-Doh, but more like that sort of animation, which works, but it doesn't suit the Simpsons. But the Simpsons game, even if you don't think it pulls it off, or with the PS2 one you didn't think pulled it off, it tried to make it like a 3D version of the cartoon, but still have the same style of the cartoon, which obviously they had better technology to work with. But that's why I like it more, because it has all the pencil lines in, rather than just being like a clay figure.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, I can't defend the. I don't think anyone can defend the PS2, but PS3, Xbox. Yeah, good.
Well, that's good to hear.
So, yeah, I just thought all this time afterwards you were right.
Woo.
There you go. That's
Any
all.
more apologies, huh? Any more?
Probably a few. I can't remember them now.
A couple?
If you can think of any I need to apologise to you for, then go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
No.
Really? No, I didn't think so.
I'll make a list for next week.
Okay.
I can get that done. That's easy.
Listen to all 68 podcasts.
Yeah, then be like, haha!
In podcast 17, you said...
How dare you? And then all the stuff that I said that was clearly wrong, didn't happen.
All your predictions.
Yeah, it all thought out. You know what, 2013 is going to be the year for the Wii U, you'll see. Super Mario 3D World is going to really help. Oof.
So, have you been playing any games or have you been too busy?
No, I've been playing some games. One game I actually checked out was Game of Thrones, the Telltale one. Which, I mean, I liked Game of Thrones. I think it's a, really good TV show. It kind of stands apart because it's well acted and well written and doesn't have that... Like, a lot of American dramas have that teen edge to them, which put me off. Of course, the good ones don't, like Breaking Bad, but Game of Thrones avoids all that, and it's just a good show. So I thought I might as well play it, because it was £2 for the first episode. So I was like, I can spend the £2 and check it out. And I'm pretty mixed on it. Like, in terms of the graphics, I think it's the worst looking Telltale game by far. Everything looks really murky, which I think was a style, they did that by choice to have everything a bit more blurry or whatever, but it just looks horrible. Like, I know it's not supposed to be a ultra-realistic looking world, but it just looks like all the trees just look blurred. Like, sometimes it's just blurred when you're just, like, something will be blurred, and then you get close to it and it's not blurred, and it just looks really weird. And it just doesn't look good at all.
It looks blurred.
Yeah, you could say it looks a bit blurred.
I think you just did.
I'll do it again. I'll show you. But yeah, just all the backgrounds look quite horrible. Nothing really stands out. Which is odd because The Wolf Among Us looks amazing. Like, that looks really great. Like, a really cool, style to it. So the fact that Game of Thrones has no style and the graphics just don't look that good was really disappointing. Gameplay wise, the reason I don't like Telltale games is because the gameplay is so like just unnecessary. Really, like they've got to have something, but it's like ugh. Like at the very beginning of it, it takes part during the Red Wedding, so you're going through this big battle, and everything up to that point is you just walking around, getting to know the characters. You know, you kind of engage to it like you would be a TV show, and then everything kicks off, and you have to do like quick time events, and you're just like, it took me completely out of the moment where I failed one of the quick time events because it just flashed up a left arrow and I didn't press it in time. My character got killed and then it restarted the scene, and it's just like it just completely took me out of it, because it would be like watching a film or TV show and you just for no real reason just rewind a part of it, just take an action scene, jump back 10 seconds and you have to watch it again. It just really just takes you out of it. There's no need for it. The quick time events, I know you got to have some gameplay, but make them incredibly easy, because otherwise you're rewatching stuff you've already seen and people are there for the story. But in terms of the story, it's really good. I don't want to give any spoilers, but you got all the, a lot of classic characters are in there. So story wise, I can definitely see it going somewhere. Seems to capture the same essence of Game of Thrones with the way everything is and all the characters are, so they captured that really well. And I like all the choices in it. Like, there's not much gameplay here and a lot less in The Walking Dead Season 1, but there is one where you have to make a decision about who your right-hand man is going to be, and you get to walk around the town or village or whatever speaking to people, and then you get to like kind of make up your own mind. Like, I did feel the choices were very intense, which is why overall I did like it, because good story and good choices that you gotta make. But it's just weird that graphically it's the worst and gameplay wise it's the worst. I think the fact that they're trying to make so many and churn out all these sort of games, and The Walking Dead had some decent ideas for the taking point and click and making it more gameplay, had a few of those ideas and a lot of them worked. None of those ideas are here, making it just a bit like it's just a shell. The gameplay really is just a shell for the story and choices. So I liked it, but it still seems in some ways the weakest Telltale game they've released.
Do you think it was rushed?
I don't know if it was rushed. I think they just they knew what to focus on, so they focused on that. I mean, I honestly do think it's a lack of ideas. This is the 4th season, and alongside it, they were making Tales of Borderlands as well. So I think that's definitely a part for it. It might also have been rushed, but I think they had enough time where they could have spent an extra month on the episode if they wanted to. I think they just creatively made the decision of, right, we'll focus on the story and whatever, and then the gameplay we just won't do as much. I mean, maybe they're planning to in the later episodes, because this is 6 instead of the usual 5, but I don't know.
Well, okay. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't think I've ever played not Walking Dead, but Telltale game. Honestly, they seem kind of dull to me. I guess that's why you're saying it's all about the story, because, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they make the controls are really awkward and weird in Telltale games in general. Because they should be point and click games, really. They're a progression from point and click, but they make it so you can actually walk around, but they don't make it natural or fluid or anything like that. It's like it's set camera angles, it's weird movements, and then you can't really do anything apart from walk up to stuff and press X, and then you got to do quick time events. So it's like, if they should have just made these point and clicks. Unfortunately, people don't play point and clicks anymore, and there's an odd stigma surrounding it. So this seems to be like a way of getting around it, where it's like, right, gameplay wise, we're going to go one step up from point and clicks, but only one step, and it's enough for people where these are cheap. People are really into those episodic stuff with like the way TV drama is and the way people are being sucked in with TV dramas, that these sort of episodes fit in well with that and what people want to see, regular content, being surprised, interesting stuff, that sort of thing. So I think that's why it's not a point and click, but it needs to go up another level. It needs to be a bit more interesting, because it doesn't take away from the story, you know? Like, there's a lot of games where it's very there's a lot of gameplay in there, but it never distracts from the story as long as you know what you're doing. But with this, they just seem to not. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're a small studio and they found their footing with The Walking Dead, so they're going to stick to it quite strictly. But to me, it stops them from being amazing, and they're just good.
So, are you going to play the other one? Is it?
I don't know. I mean, I brought it on my Xbox One because that's the console I had lying around. So if I'm going to play the next chapters or episodes, I have to buy it on that console. So maybe not. I have to see.
Okay.
Well, no, the thing is, the choices were really strong. So I don't know what other paths I could have taken. Like, there seems to be so many things where something else could have happened that makes me interested. You know, with The Walking Dead, I think, especially the first 2 episodes, or, you know, the beginning of that season 1, it was very clear what the choices were and what the consequences would have been. But even after this first episode of Game of Thrones, it already feels pretty complex. It feels quite genuine with all the choices that you have to make. Like, you have to make that choice and you stick with it, and then I do feel like I'm creating, you know, my own adventure, you know, that old chestnut. So I'd be interested to see where it goes, because I've kept myself out of the... Like, I haven't looked up the other paths and the other choices, so I would quite like to see where this goes. So I'll try to play at some point, but I'm not eager to play it. But I will at some point, hopefully.
Does it not give you that screen at the end where it says what division of people did what?
Well, here's the fun part. It now says, sign up to Telltale online. Go to our website to see all the different information of what everyone did. And so they took it out of the game, so you go to their website.
Oh.
Rather than just saying, here's the main choices. If you want more and more of a breakdown, go online. It's go online.
That's
bad. I don't get that thinking at all. You know, Mario or whatever, Zelda, all the old games would not have been better if at the end it said, go to Mario.com and sign up for like all the Ubisoft, what's it called? Uplay. Like, go on and whatever, and Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy 13.3, Lightning Returns, is the most classic example, where it has, like, Facebook. Like, it mentions Facebook before you start the new game, and you're just like, you can't even imagine people playing Final Fantasy 7 that people love, and you boot it up and it's just like, go to our Facebook. It's just like, no, that's so embarrassing to put that in there.
That's that's horrible.
Because it really it detracts from the idea of video games being art, because when you see that in a film, it takes you out of it, and you're just like, okay, sure, whatever, all the product placement, and people don't like it. So it should be the same with video games, but for some reason video games are stepping into that zone where they're willing to advertise their other social networks and websites in their game. It's just so dumb.
So it'd be like going to an art gallery and having in the corner, check out my DeviantArt page.
Ugh. Yeah, pretty much.
Scan this QR code.
Oh, God. The QR code's on the painting.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
Here's my painting of a QR code. Scan it and like my page.
It'll be deep. It's just so dumb. It's just, I think of all the classic video games, and it was just like, because you want to think that when people make a game, they want to make something that's timeless, and whenever you put anything like that, it ages it cements it to when it came out. So it can be nothing more but like a faddy game that no one will care about in a year's time.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Crimes and Punishment didn't have it, so hello. Timeless. Classic.
Yeah, can't say there's any Facebook in the Victorian times. No.
Oh. You want to go on your Facebook, Squire? Stuff like
Squire?
that. Is that the right use of Squire?
I would have thought Squire would be a little bit before Victorian, but I'm not sure.
Well,
Squire, I always thought of as like... I thought Squire was more like 60... I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
It was.
I know that we did a book in English called She Stoops to Conquer, which was a play by, I think it's Oliver Goldsworth or something that his name was, and everybody laughed at the one line, which was, "The Squire has got spunk in him." That's how mature we were in that class.
That's a good line.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is pretty good.
When anyone says Squire, that's what I think of.
Well, okay, here's a question that needs answering. When did spunk become dirty? Because, obviously, spunk means, he's full of life. He's
Yeah.
But at some point it was just like, no, it creates life. You're not full of it.
We have to ask Susie Dent off of Countdown.
Yeah, I mean, I want a year. She would know.
She would know. Oh, spunk. Yes, I've looked at it the other day. And recall all the.
Ah, yes, spunk. Yes, I see.
One of my favourite words. That one.
Thanks for bringing that up. Thanks for flagging it. You certainly are full of spunk.
Yeah, she'd know all that stuff. Yeah.
How could you disgrace that poor woman's name?
Hey, she does all that 8 out of 10 cats things now on Channel 4, so she's in all that.
I know, I've seen her on her talking about spunk. Of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See, whenever I think of that sort of word, in my head, it's always like an American, like the Americans probably made it more dirty than that. But I don't know if that's just me being stereotypical.
I'd say it's probably something. I'd lean towards something British. I don't know, maybe some risky Victorians or something.
Oh,
risque, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I've watched too many American TV shows. I've seen too much, American music or whatever, American films where with a lot of the lingo and a lot of the, particular words like that people use, I just can't really tell the difference that much anymore.
No.
It's gotten to that point.
Okay, yeah, I can't. I'm looking in the dictionary. I can't see it.
I mean, there are some that are so distinctively British that you can't help and be like, yeah, that one. But there is definitely Americanisms that I'm too used to.
Oh, I'm still about spunk.
Oh well, of course. I mean,
I want the history of it.
I didn't mean to distract from all the spunk that's going on.
Well, research must be done.
Exactly.
What's the word? Etymology. Like the history of words. That's what I'm going for here.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Spunkology.
No.
I get what you're saying. I hear you.
Oh. Shall we move off of this? Let's move off of spunk, please.
We'll come back to it later, it's fine.
Yeah,
put it on the back burner for now.
I'll find the history of it later on.
We'll put a tab on it.
Yes.
Right, okay, so now that it is 2015, we do kind of have to look back on 2014, but I think we'll do some news first. We'll save the stuff for the end. Because the other stuff as well, do you remember what we did last year?
We did the awards, didn't we?
Yeah, we did the trashies.
The trashies, yeah.
But I can't remember what they were at all.
The categories?
Yeah.
Oh, we had some very good categories.
We were. I remember Game of the Year was The Last of Us.
I think we should have looked this stuff up.
Yeah, I can't remember how we did it, but we pretty much just picked games and then gave the award after the fact. Like, made it up. Yeah, because that was it. BioShock Infinite got the Shallow and Pedantic Award. but I didn't really like it.
Shallow and pedantic, yes.
Yes, I do find it shallow and pedantic.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot that was an award.
We basically, if we're going to have more awards, we just got to make them up.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So that's fine. But again, we're going to do news first, just to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Because I think it makes more sense. So the only news I'm going to talk about is the Nintendo Direct, I'm afraid. Unless there's any news that you want to discuss that happened in the last month or so.
No, does this mean I can eat some biscuits?
Well, if you want. I mean, I don't want to say no.
Well, I didn't watch this. I didn't watch the Direct.
Okay, cool. Well, okay, so first thing, pretty much this Direct, people are saying that they really enjoyed it. No, you keep it down, biscuit boy.
Can I just say, these aren't just any biscuits, they're digestive caramel. Chocolate digestive caramel biscuits.
Spunky biscuits.
There you go, I've got some spunk in them, I'll say that.
Oh, God, don't. You said on a live stream that you don't like to be quoted, or that you would not like to be quoted as much.
Yeah.
But you're not doing yourself any favours.
Yeah, you just said that. Everyone sets me up for these. Why do I always get the blame?
Because I don't know.
Anyway, Nintendo, go for it.
Oh, thank you. Right, so yeah, everyone said it was really good. I think it was solid, but what? Oh, damn.
Okay, no, seriously, I'll stop.
Okay, thank you. Go have some tea.
I've already drank it. I'm not
Damn.
drinking it. It's right there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of water, but that's also already gone.
Oh, water. The healthy one. Ooh.
I like water. What can I say?
Ooh, I'm so healthy. Look at me.
Yeah? What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Oh, thanks.
Well done.
I thought you'd be happy for me that I'm, taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Bit of hydration.
You get hydrated.
I will. And you get some caffeine. You stay up all night.
Yep.
This ain't over.
God.
But Nintendo. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes.
So, for the third time, this was a solid one, but it was mostly the new 3DS is coming out, so here's what you need to know, and here's some games for it. And then also, here's some updates on Wii U stuff. So I won't break it all down, because some of it is honestly not that interesting. So the first thing I'll say, with the new 3DS, I have got my pre-ordered. Got myself the Majora's Mask Limited Edition XL. Because you got to treat yourself sometimes, Joe? You got to do it to yourself.
No.
No?
I don't know. What is so special about this? It's got a little extra thumbstick.
Yeah.
And you can change the faceplates.
Well, okay. If you want to know, now that you've asked, you can change the faceplates, the C stick, but it's also got more processing power. So there's going to be there's features in games that can only run on the new 3DS, and load times are a lot shorter. And then there's going to be some games in the future that, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, that can only run on it. So that game is a massive open world game on the Wii, which wouldn't run on the original 3DS, but now that it's got more processing power, they can port a game like that, and it'll work and run, which is quite nice. And then also the 3D is much better, so you don't have to keep your headers still, so it just works more naturally. I don't know if it's actually got increased depth, or if the 3D itself is actually more distinctive, but it works more seamlessly. So hopefully when I get it, I will have the 3D on more. Because I did like the 3D, but it was just keeping my head still. That kind of put me off it. But I did think it was cool. So it's got this face tracking technology, so you don't have to be as precise with it. So hopefully that's going to be really cool. I'm definitely going to give that a go at the very least. But that's pretty much what the new features are for the new 3DS.
Not convinced.
Okay, but to be fair, it is 150 quid.
Yeah.
So, it's a bit more than... It's about the same of what the 3DS one was, and you are getting... It's not by hugely, but you are getting a more powerful console with more features. So I think it's pretty fair, especially because the 3DS came out 4 years ago, and with handhelds you're more willing to just kind of upgrade more regularly. So I'm quite happy that they've done this. I mean, I've talked about it a lot in the past, but I'm happy they've done this because the nature of handhelds and how they go. So I would rather buy this one now and then maybe they make another one in another 3 or 4 years' time, rather than they release the new one and it's like 250 quid and you're just like, I can't justify it. But instead you get this one, which is a bit cheaper, although my point is it completely invalid because I'm buying the limited edition one, which is more expensive. But I still like that. Like, price-wise, they also announced the price, but I think price-wise it works. They hit the sweet spot, being 150 for the normal one and 180 for the XL.
I don't know. It seems too. They seem too frequent. What about people who've just bought an XL?
Well, then they messed up.
Well, that's harsh.
Well, they announced it last summer, so they could have waited.
That's a long time to wait.
Well,
if they had some sort of, I don't know. Well, that wouldn't even work. No, they couldn't. They couldn't do like a trading thing. It's just, I don't know. You say that handhelds, they're more willing to upgrade them and change them, but they're pushing it. I would argue. They're testing the limits. Push it to the limit.
Well, people get a new phone every year.
Yeah, but phone's useful.
Okay, 3DS are useful.
Yeah, they're useful for games.
Okay, yeah, but the use of a phone isn't changed every year. They change stuff about it, but it's not like a whole new phone every single year. You can get by having the older model for years.
Yeah, I'd say they maybe not so much now, but there was a period where they changed quite a bit phones when they were getting all the new features.
There was one big leap, and every phone series has that big leap. And then after the fact, they're just trying to make it different, I would say. Like, with the iPhone, I think it was either the 3GS or the 4. It was that period where they took the leap to actually being a really interesting phone. And then with the Galaxies, it's the S3 where it took the big leap. But other than that, it's just new iterations.
Oh yeah, now phones are lame now, but that's because they're just little computers, I guess now. Well, I'm just saying 3DSs you can play games with them, but phones you would need to do more stuff now. So you might want to upgrade them more. Right.
But with the 3DS, this is 4-year gap, not like every year.
But when did the XL come out?
I don't know. The XL came out before the 2DS, and the 2DS came out holidays 2013 alongside Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah.
So it came out before then. So maybe probably early 2013, I want to say.
I just get a bad impression when I saw the list of someone put a list of all the 3DSs or 3D. No, just DSs, I should say. There's a lot of them. There are so many of them.
Well, the DS is the second most successful console ever, so they made them because people bought them.
Or at least name them better. Then I don't know. They just seem to be like everywhere.
Well, what's your problem? You just buy the one you want and you move on.
But then you can't get, I really want to play that game. Oh, I haven't got the right one.
But then you have to. Okay, yeah, it does suck for the person who just recently bought an XL and now needs to upgrade. But, to be fair, there's only one game that requires the new 3DS, which is coming out in April, which is a port, so you can get it on the Wii anyway. And then Nintendo won't start making specific new 3DS games like, the first party big ones. That won't start until at least the end of 2015. And seeing how this got announced in the summer of 2014, you had, people have a year and a half to make the jump. So I don't really feel that sympathetic because like Majora's Mask is coming out, but you can just play that on the old one. You're completely fine. So I don't have much sympathy really.
What about poor kids, Tom? You're discriminating against poor children. Tom hates poor kids.
I hate poor kids. I'm glad you brought it up.
Well, I thought it best to with all the the screaming children outside. I just in case anyone gets any ideas, you hate kids.
Yeah, sure. So that's the difference between me and you, Joe. You might get embarrassed when someone quotes you, but if someone quoted me just then, I'll be like, yeah, nailed it.
Even if it was in a newspaper.
Well, maybe not page 1. Although it's just nice to be mentioned sometimes. There's no such thing as bad press.
Your Let's Plays views will go through the roof.
I know, right? I'll get even more hate in the comments.
You're actually sicking me.
Yeah, that would so apply.
Can you tell me what video that was on? By the way, I was intrigued.
I'll give you one guess.
Was it Jack?
It was Jack 2 review.
Oh, you gotta love that review.
He dropped it in there as well. This guy, he left quite a long comment, breaking down, saying how dumb I am and how the things I like are dumb, and then just kind of in the middle of it. He just wrote, "You actually sicken me."
Now, is this comment still there, or did you delete it?
No, it's still there. I don't delete those comments. I never delete comments unless it's just spam.
They're too funny not to delete.
Yeah, they're too much fun.
Oh,
because
I got to...
it's because it's like I get some where it's just people being like, yeah, I agree, some being like, I disagree, but I can see, I guess, but I do disagree. And then you get those comments where it's just brutal and it's just so direct.
You think someone's taken time to sit down and type that out.
Yeah,
that's when you really think, wow, isn't YouTube amazing?
It's amazing because it's so... It's amazing that somebody would write a comment so long on somebody's video about an opinion, but the comment is how about that person's opinion is completely invalid and I hate you. Like, it's not trying to raise any sort of like argument or discussion or anything, but they still took the time. Like, most people would just say, screw you, you suck.
Yeah.
As I've gotten those too, of course. Like, or the famous, or maybe you just suck, which I put in the Jack 3 video because it made me laugh. But then to take the time and be that dense, I guess would be the word. It's very interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah, just on a human level, psychology.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's just
maybe
it's just
find whoever did that.
We should. I think it's just in the moment, like when you're by yourself, it's kind of like if you were out in public and could take away the process that people have when they think of something and then it goes to their mouth, and they think of all the consequences and whatever and the society and the impact and everything. If you could remove that, that's the internet is the closest we have to removing that process of self-evaluation, evaluating everything around you, because you're just by yourself in a room. So you're just like, whatever you felt, you just go with it. But of course, if you're out and about, you would still feel the same emotion, you would just process it better. But on the internet, you just don't have that.
Yep, once again, proving you are very wise.
Oh, well, thank you. Because I think that, like some people, I'm just like, oh, I hope they die. But obviously, I don't actually want them to die. Like, a kid pushed me when I was in Astor because he was running around, and I'm just like, I hope he falls. I really do. But obviously, I don't actually want that to happen. Of course, I didn't shout that out at him or anything like that.
Really? You wouldn't want that to happen?
Well, it'd be quite funny.
I'd want it to happen. I wouldn't want the kid to get hurt. But no. I'd want him to realise that running about is not what you should do.
Well, the initial thing is also I want them to get hurt. But, I mean, when I say the initial, I mean that you got pushed or I got pushed. It was an annoyance, like really annoying that happened and for dumb reasons. So the initial thing is like anger and annoyance. But, if I was on the internet and I was also feeling that same annoyance due to someone, I would put you, or some people just put you suck and I hate you. You actually sick of me. That's what they would put. Okay, so we're back. Little problem there, but
technical issues. This is fine.
Yeah, little hiccup. It's the way it goes sometimes.
But anyway, because it's a podcast, it's seamless.
It is. Nobody knew until I mentioned it.
Yep.
But any final thoughts on hurting children, though?
Yes. I would say children should learn a lesson, and sometimes it has to be the hard way, and there's too much sugarcoating of children these days.
I don't think that's what we were talking about, but it's a very good point, well made.
I think so.
Bravo.
Anyway, the Wii, not the Wii, 3DS, new.
Okay, yeah, I think I summed it up. I mean, I think it's cool because I like having an upgrade. I got my 3DS ages ago, so it's cool to be able to upgrade because I do need a new one. So timing-wise, it worked out quite well, and I just look forward. I just like new consoles, and this one looks really cool. So I brought the XL limited edition because it's like if I'm gonna buy one, I might as well buy the really nice one. So yeah, I mean, I could talk a lot about Majora's Mask 3DS, but I think I'll save that for another podcast just because, yeah, I kind of want to move on.
Probably with someone who's played the game.
Yeah, that would also help.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's less than a month away, so like 3 weeks. So the one I'm getting comes with Majora's Mask, so I'm definitely getting it, which is cool.
Cool.
Okay, so I want to talk about 2 more things.
The
first one is... Well, okay, well, I was going to say that for the third one.
Okay, that's fine. Do what you want. Do what you want.
No, it's fine. I appreciate your input. I listen to your thoughts and feelings sometimes.
I'm feeling the Amiibos.
Well, you know what? You made your force know. That was a spunky move, if I've ever seen one.
I have got spunk in him.
Disgusting. Right, yeah, so Amiibo... during this direct, they announced, I think 6 coming in April, which were more Smash Bros. Ones. But in March, they're releasing an additional 6 on top of the Smash Bros. Ones they're already releasing, which is going to be the specific Super Mario range and will come out alongside Mario Party 10. So when this happened, I instantly said, right, I'm done. Like, I've washed my hands of Amiibos, I'm done, I'm out, I can't care anymore.
They've called you back, haven't they?
No. Okay, so here's what's happened. When they first came out or were announced, I was like, that's a pretty cool idea. That would definitely a good idea of Nintendo to do it, and it makes sense for them to do it, but I'm not that interested. So then I bought one of them just to see, and I thought, you know what, this is pretty cool. And then I saw that they were becoming more of a collector thing. I mean, I already knew that people were going to collect them, but they really went all in when they came out, especially with the stock concerns. So that made me really interested in them. So I seeked them out, I hunted them down. I have the first 3 that got discontinued, Marth, Wii Fit Trainer, and the Villager. So I was all in. And then I had pre-ordered everyone in February. Then in January, I was going to hunt down all of those ones. It was going to be great. But when they announced that they were going to do a separate range in March and that they're going to do 6 more in April, I just had to be like, I'm done. Because they're discontinuing them way too soon. So some of them, like the Little Mac one that came out end of December, you just can't get because it instantly sold out, and that was that. You just couldn't get it within a week of it coming out, and they're saying we're not going to make any more. So it's like, well, how can you... It's hard to be invested when stuff like that is going to happen, and it's going to keep happening, that every month there's going to be like 1 or 2 that are just going to be like 5 times the price as soon as they come out. So you've got to pre-order them all, which is just like, well, then you're not really... It's just a bit lame that you have to do that. And then, the nail in the coffin was the fact that they're releasing 11 or 12 of them in March. They're 10 quid each. Like, so even if you don't get price hacked, even if you manage to pre-order them, you're paying at least a tenner for each one. So you got to pay like over 100 quid in March just to keep up with the Amiibos. Because you got to buy them every single month, because there's at least 5 or 6 every month. And with them being 11, that's so much money. You got to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on these things because they're just churning them out. So it was kind of like, I don't want to be spending like 300 quid just to have all the Amiibos, because it's just not worth it. And because they're not slowing down, and because they're not even going to restock the old ones, because what I wanted to hear is that, in April they were going to take a break, and then maybe in the summer start releasing a load of new ones, so people could catch up with the older range of Amiibos and all that, and they could resupply the old ones, but they just keep going, and it's just like, I can't care. I just can't care anymore because it's just going to be instantly out of stock and it's just too much. So now I'm done. I cancelled all my Amiibo pre-orders. I had all of them in February done and secured. They're all cancelled. So I'm just not buying them anymore because I just can't do it. I just can't. So I'm not.
But the question is, who do they expect people to go after that sort of with that sort of mentality of getting them all?
I think they probably know that exists, and they would have to know that exists. But I think they would claim that they're just releasing the ones so people can use it in a more practical sense rather than collecting them, which is why I think they're churning them out so everyone can just buy their favourite character, which is why they're not fussed. But it seems to be like, I think they're being deliberately ignorant on the subject, rather than saying like, okay, we know people are going to collect them, we can't let people be, charged 50 quid for one of these figures, a week after they come out. I think they're just deliberately being like, let's just keep churning them out so people keep buying them. Let's keep this kind of going, sort of thing. Because that I think that's what they would claim, that everyone has their favorite character. So the more they release, the more everyone can get their favorite character.
Yeah, I suppose there just needs to be a balance then.
Yeah,
they haven't struck yet.
The balance, it should be 3 of them a month, and that should be it. And then you just have 3 of them every month, which would work, because then they could keep all 3 of them stocked up. It means that you can just spend 30 quid outright, get all the Amiibos for a month, and then you can spend the next 30 quid in the next month. Not 100 quid. It's just 100 quid if you get all the pre-orders in. That is like, it's just too much.
That's a silly amount of money.
It is.
So let me just, I'm still not entirely sure what these Amiibo things are. Do they work for multiple games then?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the Smash Bros range, but they're doing the Mario one, but pretty much all of them work in Smash Bros. And then anyone associated to Mario is going to work in Mario Party 10. Any of the Kirby ones are going to work in the Kirby game coming out. There's a load of them that work in Mario Kart 8 where you unlock costumes for your Mii by scanning them in. So it's across multiple games. I think it's like 8 at this point confirmed to use them.
Okay. And so they unlock different things every game, different sort of.
Yeah.
It's not tied to like this will always unlock a skin.
No, well, most of them are you unlock a skin, but it's not just that.
Okay.
So they are a cool idea. So having some of them, I think that's quite cool. Having like, if I had 4 or 5 of them, and you don't worry about buying them all, I think that still works. That's still fine. It's just if you want to get them all, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and that's my issue.
And the thing is, people are gonna be there are gonna be people out there that have the stands ready for them all.
Yep.
Lots of money.
See, I was becoming that collecting guy.
You got stands, haven't you?
No, I don't, sadly. But I was going to become that collecting guy where it's just like I will buy them all and have them all, and that because the idea of collecting really appeals to me. I just never let myself do it, and so I thought with the Amiibo, haven't I? What?
Yeah, good for you, I said.
Well, thank you. But with the Amiibos, I let myself a bit because I thought they were cool, but they weren't. So now I have. Wait, how many do I have? Let's have a quick count. Villager, Falco, Diddy, Link, Pit, Luigi, Wii Fit Trainer, Marth. I have like 9 of them, and I'm not collecting them anymore. It's an odd place to draw the line, but it's only going to get worse, so I have to draw the line.
9 is a nice 3x3. You could get a nice stand for that.
I could get a very good stand.
Yeah, that works.
I'm thinking about just like nailing them to the wall in a grid. I think that would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Just get a nail and just hammer through until they stick to the wall.
Oh, you know what I saw the other day? It was my niece's birthday, so we went to the toy store because she had some money to spend. They had the Simpsons Lego in there still.
Yeah,
It was
of course
still
they
there.
do.
Well, I thought it would just be gone once that's over, but they've still got that same series, and I'll be honest, I did feel a few packets.
Why? You have them all, don't you?
No, I don't have them all. I'm missing 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a collector. I couldn't find them.
So you just you had a look in Toys R Us, and you're just like, they're not here.
Well, I had to stop
Let's
myself
go
because
home.
I would have bought some more, but they're still too expensive for my liking, so I didn't. But the temptation was there. That's all I'm saying.
But in terms of finishing the collection, though, there's not ones that are more rare than others, right? Or if they are, it's only slight.
Yeah.
Because with Amiibos, that's the problem, that some of them are more rare than others. But with Lego Simpsons, all you have to do is get lucky and then buy the rest for
I will have
slightly
to
inflated.
eBay them. Yeah. I have to. It's the only way.
Because my brother has them all.
Yeah. I've heard this. You've rubbed this in before.
What? No, come on.
All your
Don't
doubles of burns and everything that I desperately needed at the time.
Well, okay, which ones are you missing?
A poo. No, it's not Nelson.
Wellhouse.
Itchy.
Sure.
And
Ralph?
no, another someone else.
Nice.
Can't remember, but yeah, still need them. I've got 12 of 16.
But if you don't finish the collection, then what was the point in owning them at all? That's what I'm saying.
You're right. You're right. It's worthless.
Bin them.
I may as well.
No, don't bin them. That's like 15 quid right there thrown away.
Yeah, it is actually. No, I will get them, but just not from that damn store where all the little kids were judging me.
Were they, or did you just feel like they were?
I probably felt like they were. Plus, the amount of Frozen stuff in there was scary.
Scary good?
No, scary bad.
Oh.
I knew that Frozen was popular. Obviously, you can't get away from it. But just the amount of merchandise was overwhelming.
The good?
No.
No.
No, it was just tat. All tat. Tom.
Tat Tom?
It was all tat, Tom, and
no tat Tom.
Overpriced tat, but they love it. It was okay. There was this Olaf, the snowman thing, who did a little dance. You press a button, does a little dance.
Ooh.
Literally the dance. They must have just taken. Well, I won't go too far into this, but the way it moved, it was very suggestive, and
oh God.
Yeah, and it was pathetic. It's pathetic. I'm never going to that store again.
To be fair, though, right? You can judge Frozen.
All film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything. I had a dancing flick from A Bug's Life.
Yeah, I was probably the same as a kid, but it's the sad realization now that you're older about how much parents have to pay for this crap. It's just depressing.
It's a sham.
Yeah, it really is.
But do you want to know something fun?
No.
Oh well.
Oh, go on.
That I'll tell you because I know hardly any people will make it to this point in the podcast. Is that I tested SingStar Frozen.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
How many songs are in the actual film? I didn't think
10. There's 10 on the disc.
Wow.
It's right. Love is an open door. For the first time in forever. For the first time in forever, reprise.
Yeah.
There's, of course, Let It Go. Actually, there's the second version of Let It Go, but that plays in the credits. There's Frozen Heart.
I still haven't seen the film, by the way.
There's Reindeers Are Better Than People.
Well, that's not true.
Well, that's the song. I mean...
Okay.
Reindeers Are Better Than People. Sven, do you think I'm right? You know, it's a good song. There's In Summer. I want to get them all.
It's not Amiibos, don't worry.
No, I would have given up long ago. I can do this. There's I want to build a snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more.
Let It Go.
I already said that twice.
Oh.
Let It Go.
Is it the one that she sings with the Prince guy?
No, that's Love Is an Open Door.
Oh, yeah.
That's annoying. It's really annoying.
Is that the song?
I'll come back to it. It's fine. I'll get it.
Right, so we've got Spunk to come back to, and that now. Right.
Yeah, we
Just
got
keep a list.
Spunk and Missing Frozen song. I mean, it's a good list.
Yes.
I can draw the same white thing for both.
Yeah. Oh.
Because Spunk is obvious and snow.
Yeah. Oh. Wow, we take this podcast to untold places.
Oh, we do.
Even after such technical difficulties. Still thriving.
Right. Okay, let's finish off the Nintendo Direct stuff.
Oh yeah.
We got to get through it.
Yeah.
So the last thing is Wii games and Wii U. Awesome. I had a massive pain. It was a massive pain getting Super Mario Galaxy 2 because you can't buy it without having the hard drive space to download and install it, which meant I had to delete a load of stuff because I only have an 8 gig one. But I did it in the end, so I now have it. And then Metroid Prime Trilogy is coming out this month, so I will definitely make sure I buy that, because that's what I really like about this, is that they're releasing the ones where I would have to pay at least 40 quid for Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii, but I can get it for 9, and I just download it. So that's awesome.
That's good. Why would it be so expensive otherwise?
Because it's a rare game.
Oh.
Because they only made so many, and then of course it's such a critically acclaimed series that a lot of people brought it, but now it's like, because it's held up over time, people still want it, but it wasn't a big seller really, so it's just one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So do you wanna do some reflecting, some looking back?
My memory's poor, but we can try.
Great. So, what do you want to do? Films or games first?
Games.
Oh, I was feeling more films, but okay, games.
Films.
Films it is.
Films.
No, we can do games if you want to do games.
Games.
Okay, I guess games if you want. If you're going to be so demanding about it, it's fine.
Games. Come on.
Okay.
Okay,
so...
to get you to, yeah.
Thanks. I was asleep before the cat. Okay, so I got the top best-selling games in the US, just as like a refresher of what came out this year, although of course there was quite a lot, so it really doesn't cover it. But I'll quickly go over them. Number 10 was NBA, whatever. Number 9 was Titanfall, 8 was Super Smash Bros, 7 was Call of Duty Ghosts, 6 was Watch Dogs, 5 was Minecraft, 4 was Madden, 3 was GTA 5, 2 was Destiny, and number 1 was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So, there's your refresher.
Yeah.
Okay, so, wait. I know you don't play many new games.
No.
But are there 3... There must be 2. There must be 2 that would stand out to you that you played this year that also came out, well, last year I guess, came out in 2014. 2! I'm just asking for 2.
Did I even play 2 new games? That is a very good question. Come back to me. What about you?
Okay, I'll start off with my one. I don't actually have a proper strict list. For me, this was the year where a lot of games I played was just it's another AAA whatever. This was definitely the year that was most prominent for that for me anyway. It already started happening towards the end of the 360's life, anyways, that I would just play games and it's I feel like I've played this before, got the same level of polish, and it's just the same sort of thing, like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, whatever. But this one I felt was really bad for that. Really bad of just picking up a game and not really being that invested in it, and I would still play through it. Examples of that would be Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, which I didn't dislike. I gave it a overall decent review, but it still just felt this is a AAA video game that came out in 2014, whatever. So I think in the, when we look back on it, I think 2014, for me anyway, will be the year of stagnation for AAA games, or just maybe the worst of it, because of course it's something that's been happening for a few years now, and I definitely felt like last year was the worst for it. Like the list I read out, for me, the new COD wasn't bad, had some good stuff in there, but no interest in playing it again. Of course, Ghost came out the year before, but was the ultimate of one of those games, the ultimate whatever kind of one. And then Destiny just felt like whatever, not really bad, but yep, this is a video game. GTA 5 I have the same feeling about too, where it just feels like another AAA open world whatever. Because that's the thing, with open world games you don't have to make it interesting, because people give it a free pass for some reason. I mean, this was also the year of Watch Dogs, where it was a brand new series, and people I think reacted badly to it because when it comes to Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and all those series, they've been used to that AAA stagnation, but Watch Dogs was supposed to be a next-gen new interesting title, but it followed that same template of all the other ones, so it felt like it, and people weren't as willing to forgive it just because it was supposed to be something new. I haven't played Watch Dogs. I have it on PS4 lying around, still wrapped up. Got quite a few games sitting, still wrapped up. The Evil Within and all that, it's all still there. So I haven't really played it, but I definitely got that sense from it. Actually, I have played it, but not properly. It definitely does feel like that. So that was something that really stood out for me. But still, I think there's two games that really stood out to me. The first one was Titanfall, because it's something I don't really talk about that much, or not as much as you would think. I really enjoy console first-person shooters. I have a lot of fun playing those games. I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, so Titanfall for me felt fresh, but it still felt like Call of Duty, but it had the right elements of Call of Duty, and then the right elements of something new and something different, something interesting, where Call of Duty is very on, off, you run in, you get killed, you run in, you kind of get a kill streak going, you get killed. It was very like that. Titanfall is actually a lot more smoother in terms of those moment-to-moment what the player is actually doing. You don't die as much, but you're still involved in a lot of action, a lot of stuff is still happening, but you're not dying to kind of interfere it. So you still have all the advantages of Call of Duty, where you're in a small map, it's very action-based, you're fighting another team, you have that competitive nature, but you're not dying as much. You're just playing it, you're just jumping, you can go invisible, you got all the different powers, you got the Titans and whatever, so it's just really fun. It's just something that I recently, when I was playing the Game of Thrones game on my Xbox One, I also returned to Titanfall, and got the DLC for it because it was cheap. And it was just fun. It was fun to return to it. With all the other Call of Duties and whatever, and all the other just AAA games, I just wouldn't return to them because I would just be bored of the same. I just would be bored. I just feel no desire to go back to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. But Titanfall, I could still jump in and enjoy it. So I think that's something that really stood out for it. It had a really rough start when they released a game that was barely a game. It was just a load of maps and like 2 playlists. But now all the patches have come out and they've built it up to where it is actually a full proper retail release. And I managed to get all the DLC for £4, so I didn't have to pay that much to kind of upgrade it, and most of the patches you didn't have to pay for anyway. So yeah, really impressed by Titanfall, really enjoy it. I think it's like the only game so far on next generation worth picking up, the only one that makes more sense on the next generation. Not that it's a showcase for next gen and for a reason to buy one, but it's like the only game so far on the Xbox One on PS4 that's really impressed me and isn't the same experience that I had when I was playing on my 360. like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, it's not the same because the new iterations on the new consoles are the same, so I haven't been that impressed by them. So yeah, there's Titanfall. And then the other one shouldn't be that much of a surprise. It's Mario Kart 8, where Mario Kart 8 is just, on the face of it, it's just more Mario Kart. But when you really break it down, It's the best Mario Kart. It's the most polished. It's got a ton of charm. It's like HD and whatever. There's a ton of different courses in there. The online is extremely functional and fun. Ton of different characters. A ton of customization options. It's just like full of content, and it's just refined, and it's just fun. Like, I think something that's really pushed me towards Mario Kart is what I was talking about, the stagnation of AAA games where they all feel the same. So it's triggering enough in your head where you don't want to stop playing it, but you're not really having fun. But you sit down and you play Mario Kart and you're just enjoying yourself. You're just enjoying it. It's just an enjoyable experience. And that's just something that games don't really cater towards anymore. They don't go for something that's just something you can sit down and have fun with. So it was awesome to have Mario Kart 8 because that represented what I wanted in games. I want games that are fun and interesting, but not just an open world, here's trees and whatever. So yeah, for those reasons, for the reasons of it being the best Mario Kart, and I think the timing that it came out, for me, makes it probably my game of the year, with Titanfall second. There are some other games that I could mention, but I'm going to stick with those two as my games of the year, and also push come to shove, it would be Mario Kart over Titanfall.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Nice.
I'm afraid the time hasn't really helped me.
Okay.
With my own decision. I have played Mario Kart around a friend's house.
Yes.
I could maybe go with that based on what you just said.
Yes.
It was fun to play with friends.
I know,
I
right?
got angry.
Of course you did.
Of course I did, and it was good angry though. But honestly, I think the only new games I've played last year. This is how. Why am I on this podcast for?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, because I think it was only since I got that PS4 was the only new games I played. I'm pretty sure.
Destiny.
Destiny and that Sherlock Holmes one.
So, do you want to name
any new
Sherlock
games?
Holmes Game of the Year? Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Well, Game of the Year. Why not? Well, the few hours I've played of Destiny have been okay, but I hear the ending, or the further you get into it, it's just grindy. So I can't say anything about that. I just have nothing. Sherlock Holmes.
You have nothing.
There's a section of Sherlock Holmes where you play as a dog and you sniff things.
Ooh,
Game of the Year.
Put that on the box.
Okay. You sniff things as a dog. Game of the Year.
Game of the Year.
Muck-luck.
Yeah.
No, I really. There's usually, like you say, at least a couple games that I'll get, because I don't like spending a lot of games, and especially now I've got the PS4, where some games are, you don't have to get them when they're that price, but they come out at £50. That's a lot of money. So I wouldn't usually get many new games anyway, but it's just getting harder. Harder, man.
Well, last year you had the benefit of play The Last of Us. Like, you couldn't avoid it. People in general just like, The Last of Us, just do it. But this year, I don't think there was a game equivalent to The Last of Us that came out.
I tell you what,
apart from The Last of Us.
If I hadn't watched a good Let's Play of it, I would have got Alien Isolation.
Oh.
I would have.
Talking about my live stream, right, Joe?
Yeah,
Joey.
Sure. Yeah. that as well. But,
that too. You should you should just play Alien Isolation though.
No, there's no point now though. I've watched the whole game. I've watched the whole game.
This is why people don't like Let's Plays, Joe.
I can see why.
The fact that you would not play it, and now you can't play it.
Well,
and you wanted to play it.
And also, I think watching it has made me realise I would also be quite annoyed with it as well. But it's still a good game. But I think I would have got maybe slightly frustrated at the amount of backtracking and things you'd have to do in the end. Have you played any more of it?
No, I mean, I do still have it because it's in the Red Dead case. So I could. It's like where I ended it with the save points. I think in a horror game you can't have save points in a place where you could get killed or whatever. It's why Resident Evil and Silent Hill are very good designs where they put their save points where it makes you feel safe. And it's very distinct and clear where you're safe and where you can save and where the nightmare is. But in Alien Isolation, trying to make it seamless means that it just kind of ruins it a little bit, which again isn't game breaking, but it already screwed me over once, so yes. I don't want it to screw me over again.
I will say, having seen the whole game, that was like probably the worst. I don't think it ever happened again. The guy I watched play it, that never happened, that sort of thing. So
did it happen to him at all?
As in that bit, or just later on in the game?
No, just in general, missing a save point.
The only time he screwed up was when he pressed load previous save instead of current save on the menu, because they're right next to each other. But that's I can't think of any other time when you might get screwed over. So maybe you might enjoy it.
Maybe. I think I'm just also it's meant to be 15 hours. I think
it's long.
There's something there, but
it's too long.
15 hours is a long time nowadays to invest in something that I'm not excited about anymore. You know, like at first I was willing to play all of it, and then it just 4 stealth sections along with missing a save point. And, no.
That's what I mean. There was a few good points where I thought it was going to end, but it just kept going, and I was surprised. Yeah. And that's what I mean by the sort of pointless sort of backtracking, because why didn't you just end it there, game? But still, it did look nice. There you go.
You should play. There's something. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, the spunkiest game of the year is Mario Kart 8. I mean that's just that's just obvious.
Spunkiest game of the year.
You can't argue with that.
No, I will not.
It's not bad. I can't think of any other awards because last year BioShock really annoyed me, so that was very easy. I feel like there was another award that we gave out though. There was Game of the Year, Last of Us, Shadow and Patentic was BioShock, and I feel like there was another one.
I'm sure there was at least 3, and there must have been one more.
I want to give something to Destiny, but I haven't played it that much, you haven't played it that much, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's alright.
We got nothing. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, you should have something. Why? I have nothing. You play. You
have
games.
Nothing. I do.
Yeah.
I don't like to brag about it, but I do.
Yeah, I don't apparently. So.
Okay, you've got a right. Let's think about it. What's coming up on the PS4? You've got a PS4.
Okay, let's set me some targets. Give me a target. I will play a game.
What do I? We got to pick it though.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to move my mouse a little bit. So sorry for the noise. Okay,
what's coming out? Amazon. Amazon, really?
Yeah, that's where I check upcoming games.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was on there. Cool. But
let's have a look. Next 90 days.
Oh wow.
Okay, so we got Dying Light, The Order, Rugby 15. It's actually called Rugby.
The Order, is that the Victorian one? That looks kind of a bit rubbish in the video.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shoot.
Because that would have been a contender, because I like Victorian setting, apart from Sherlock Holmes apparently.
You might just have to go with The Order, because it might be good.
I might go with The Order then. That could be my target game.
Hold on, let's have a look for anything else. Bloodborne, which is Dark Souls 3, but not. Final Fantasy, no. God, Next Gen sucks. It really does. It's awful.
The Order, that's it.
Okay,
The
Order, boom.
I will play that.
February 20th it's coming out.
So I've got about a month. Yeah. That's fair.
You got to get it. I want you to get it day one. And then you're going to play it and you're going to talk about it. And it's going to be great.
And then when we do this video in 2016, I could be like, yes. The Order. That's the one new game I played.
That's it. Because your pioneering has to stop. It's no longer cute.
No, that's the thing. You can't be a pioneer forever. People overtake you as pioneers.
Yeah. And that's why you got to get Rugby 15 on the PS4. Rugby 15.
Is it just called Rugby 15?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Rugby 15.
It's called Rugby 15. Not even like, national, or it's not sponsored by anything.
No, I guess that's why it's just called Rugby 15.
It's not got
I
any.
I don't even know if it is the 15th rugby game.
So it hasn't got like a guy's name in front of it, like Madden. It's just rugby.
It's just rugby, yeah. There's no Madden or FIFA for rugby, so it's just Rugby 15.
That seems uninspired to me.
Wait, no, come on.
No, really, it does now.
Listen, Rugby 15 on the PS Vita is going to be a hit. You'll see.
Rugby 15.
Yeah, Rugby 15.
I suppose it's clear. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, it's rugby and 15.
Like, what the hell is this NBA 2K? What's 2K mean? 2000.
It's published by 2K? No, yeah, it means 2015 or whatever.
What? That's confusing. They should just. It should be basketball 15.
Yeah, man throws ball 12. Done.
All sports games. Football 15.
It's ball kicking 15.
This game's got it down, actually, thinking about it. I shouldn't be judging this game. It's clear.
Well, on the NES they used to do that. The tennis game was just called tennis. The golf game was just called golf. Because they knew that they would nail it in one, and nobody would ever buy any other golf or tennis games.
This rugby game's got to be the best damn rugby game ever made, then.
It should be. I mean, they've had 15 attempts at it. I hope.
I'm buying it.
Cancel the order?
Yeah.
Hello, Rugby 15.
Ugh.
Ugh, indeed.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll bother talking about what's coming out later this year as well.
There's nothing.
No, there's not. I might get Dying Light, but they don't have a date of when it's coming out. So, because I played that Eurogamer and I thought it was pretty good. It was actually I played Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation. Played Alien Isolation as well, and that wasn't very good. But Dying Light was actually the one I was most impressed by when I played it then. So I might get that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on games in 2014?
I think you brought up an interesting point about how much enjoyment is there in games now?
Mm-hmm.
Not because there's a difference between enjoyment and happiness.
Sure.
Are you happy playing a game? This is getting deep.
It always does.
Well, yeah, because not that I played any new games, as we've previously discussed, but even with older games that I'm catching up with, I don't know if I'm happy playing them.
Oh dear.
I don't know what enjoyment, how much enjoyment is there at this point at shooting people, for example.
Wait, so what game in particular are you talking about? Don't say you mean dear old Time Splitters.
Oh God, no. No.
You said old games.
Yeah, well, it is an old game. I was playing Far Cry 2, right?
Oh, right. That ancient.
And there's just I wasn't happy.
Wait, why were you playing Far Cry 2?
I don't know. It's because I watched someone play Far Cry 4. I was like, oh, I have a Far Cry game.
Right.
So I'll play that.
You know it didn't do well, right? Like, there's a reason why people talk about Far Cry 3 and not the second one.
Well, no, but you say that. I read what people thought of it, and okay, maybe it wasn't very popular, but some people said it has a very good AI.
Wow.
And the way that you use weapons, they limit you. So I had mini hopes for this game, but it was dull. I wasn't happy. I want a game that makes you happy.
Captain Toad, hello.
I've been watching a few videos of that as well. That seems sort of...
It's great. It's really fun. If you want to be made happy, just see a little toad person waddling around. Oh, he's adorable. He's so adorable. I can't take it. I can't take how happy he is. Like, he's always smiling. And when he gets scared, you're just like, oh no, come on. Oh, it's so good.
Alright, so Toad. I should place my bets on Toad.
Yeah. Always place your bets on Toad.
What about Toadette?
Yeah, she's in there too.
She alright?
Yeah, she's not bad. She's fine.
Okay. Oh yeah. So basically, you're saying Nintendo is the only company that makes happy
No,
games
no.
now.
Okay, that's I put Titanfall up there as well. Okay, there's something about, because people want open world games, companies are now sacrificing gameplay for technically having a lot there, and I think in general it's just led to a more mindless experience, which ultimately isn't as fun. So I blame open world games for that feeling of what you're describing, what I was describing, because it means that you just gotta, because it's a bit like PC games, but the thing is with PC games, at least you have that large, you play a game for like thousands of hours, but at least there's a level of depth to it, like, and like you with your Minecraft, it's very similar, but it does trigger like a creative part, it does hit that creative thing, but an open world game on the console, it's kind of like, if you took the actual proper gameplay and moments of a console game, then you took that PC game where you're really invested into it and just shoved them together, so you just get like a mindless but there's a lot to do game. So it's not, it's the worst of both worlds. And that's, to me, is the problem with a lot of open world games, is that they try to be like as long as possible, but they don't make anything interesting about them so they can be as long as possible. Like, Red Dead Redemption is a very set length, and is also an interesting world and has a good story. Great open world game. Fallout 3, similar sort of deal. A lot to explore, an interesting setting, you're going to have fun. But, like, GTA... I've already done this. I've done this plenty of times. You know what I'm saying. You know my deal with open world games. That's my deal. I mean, I've already explained it so many times. I know that because as soon as I heard myself say Red Dead and Fallout 3, I'm like, I've made this point so many times.
You know what game I'm going to go back to? I've made a decision right now.
Fallout 3?
It's an open world game. And it's Red Faction.
Oh,
because I can safely say...
Oh, Guerrilla.
I can safely say smashing things up is fun.
It is fun.
That made me happy, smashing things up. Destruction.
Yay.
Let's just get down to Mythbuster level of blowing things up for the sake of it.
It does work.
Yeah. Maybe if the Order has lots of explosions and stuff, I'll be happy.
No, it doesn't.
No.
No.
Damn.
I know. But you got to play it. You committed.
Yeah. No, I will. If there's a cool gun, then yeah.
There probably will be one. I hope.
I imagine. Is it steampunky? I imagine it's.
Yeah, it's the steampunk thing.
Steampunk, spunk. It's quite a spunky game.
Oh God, no! It's happening again.
It's back. Yeah, I'll look out for that then. Shall we move on to films anyway?
What were we talking? What were we?
Films.
Oh, films. Yes, of course. I don't know. We got a little lost there.
Yeah.
So films. These are the top 10 films or top grossing films of this year.
Can I guess number 1?
No, you
Can
can't.
I guess number 3?
No.
Okay.
You'll get there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so number 10 is Interstellar, which I didn't see. I think you saw it.
I saw it.
Was it alright?
It was okay.
Cool.
Too ambitious.
See, now that I didn't see it in IMAX, no.
It's gone. Yeah.
Same with Gravity. I saw it on Blu-ray for like not that much in HMV, and I was just like, no, I've missed my chance.
Yeah, Gravity especially. More so than Interstellar. You could maybe still get away with Interstellar.
Yeah, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I will check it out anyway.
Gravity is like, it's just all about the visual. So yeah. Anyway, go on.
Number 9 is Hunger Games: Catching Fire Part 1. I mean, we said this last year with the last Hunger Games. We just don't like them.
I've got the books. I'm going to read the books.
Ooh, nice.
Because they were cheap. Oh, very tangent.
Sure.
I got another book in Waterstones, The Works. Brilliant store.
Okay.
Amazing. It was Roger Moore. In fact, I brought this up because I remember you saying how depressing the book title is. But RRP of £20, I got it for $6.99.
Ooh.
Actually, $6.25 with student discount. It's Roger Moore, Last Man Standing, Tales from Tinseltown.
What was that last part?
Tales from Tinseltown.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Why is it Tales from Tinseltown?
Well, this is my theory. Okay, Last Man Standing reflects the picture on the front, which is of Roger Moore and three other famous actors at the time in the 60s. And they're all dead now. So he's the last man standing.
Oh,
quite a
that's
depressing
horrible.
Yeah, quite a depressing thought. All your friends are dead. So they had to think, alright, let's put something uplifting afterwards. Tales from Tinseltown.
Woohoo!
Tinsel in there, yeah, that works.
He choked them all with tinsel.
So
it's fun.
yeah, I'm going to be reading that soon. And more Roger Moore.
To understand what the title means.
Well, yeah, how everyone dies in it, pretty much. Number 7.
I just assumed he's just so old that he's just gone so senile. He wrote the book, he's like, what is it about? Well, Last Man Standing sounds cool, but Tinseltown, yeah! It's like, Mr. Moore, Sir Moore.
Sir Moore?
Are you sure? Just, ice cream. It's like, okay, well. Let's just do it and move on.
Maybe. He seems to have most of his brain still intact, but I'm not sure. He might slip in and out.
He wrote a book, so
he probably mumbled to someone about it, but yeah.
Okay, so number 8 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Which I know you have your opinions.
Lame.
And you know what? You can think what you think, but you actually sicken me.
Okay.
So
I'm glad to sicken over this because the film sickened me.
It did not sicken. Don't even. We had this argument.
Sickened me.
There were things you didn't like, but it didn't sicken you. It was a great film.
The humans sickened me.
Ah, you and your humans.
Damn humans.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know. I don't want to say film of the year for me, but it'll definitely be up there in top 3 of ones that stood out.
That sickens me, putting it there.
Damn it. Well, anyway, we can't have the argument again.
No, we can't.
We already spent. I must have gone on for like 20 minutes or whatever, something like that, when we did argue about it.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Right, number 7 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is one of the only films that came out this year that I brought on Blu-ray when it came out and actually watched.
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually I liked it a lot the second time. So that would probably be my film of the year. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because it's not perfect, but there's a lot of things I liked about it. And in a way, its imperfection kind of made it stand out in a way. But there's also a lot of stuff that I really liked about it. Just the stuff with how all the actors, I think, did a great job. Electro was silly and cartoonish, but I felt like that was the right move for him. The ending, I think they did a great job with that. I've already spoke about it, but I think that film was really good. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I think it's actually the best Spider-Man film. And I really like Spider-Man, so that is probably my film of the year, right there.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Cool. Number 6 is Captain America 2, which I think it stood out as a Marvel film, but that's not saying much.
Okay.
So number 5 is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Which is just like, I think I'm done with X-Men, because I watched it, I didn't hate it, I didn't like it though. It was just like there. So
it just existed.
Yeah, it just kind of existed, left no real impression, no desire to see it again. But there's no hatred or dislike, it's just, it was a film. It was a film, alright. The number 4 is Magnificent. Am I saying that right?
Well, yeah. Angelina Jolie one.
Yeah. You've seen this, right, Joe?
No.
Well, there you go.
No. I thought I was starting off this list well. I was like, yeah, I've seen that film. And then it's just died.
Wait, which ones have you seen? Interstellar, Apes, and that's about it, right?
I thought there was one more. Okay, so I've seen 2. Hobbit's got to be in there somewhere. I've seen that.
Oh, spoilers! God, come on. Okay. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really, I thought that would be 1.
It's number 1 in America, but it's not number 1 worldwide.
Huh. Okay.
So I thought that film was good. Again, it was a solid, enjoyable blockbuster, summer blockbuster, but I don't think it was anything more than that. You know, I wouldn't dislike seeing it again, but it was just a well put together blockbuster and kind of nothing more, to me anyway.
Well, that's good that you have such a level-headed opinion, because people seem to go nuts over that film.
Yeah, I think it's just because it does enough differently from the other Marvel films, and also I think people like the humor and whatever, like it has enough of its own distinct feel that I think people really like it for that, because it feels like a bit more of a fresher breath air for Marvel films, but to me it still doesn't do enough to really stand out.
Right.
And I mean, the one thing I thought when I left it was that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is really going to suck, because then they're going to start mixing all the different characters and it's just not going to work as well. But for the first one, it's definitely a good film. I will give it that. Right, number 2 is The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies, which I haven't seen, but I do really want to see. Just to, I've seen the other 2. You've got to finish off the trilogy. I haven't heard anything amazing about it, but I haven't heard anything bad, so... Hey.
Yeah, well, pretty bad, I'd say, but still.
You say it was bad?
Pretty bad, yeah.
Worst of the trilogy?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't done a podcast since, so what didn't you like?
Well, I have to do all this from a perspective that I haven't seen Lord of the Rings films.
Okay.
And I haven't read the book.
Right.
Okay, so it's quite niche already. But it was too long. Obviously, okay. I mean, the whole, everyone's joke says about the whole trilogy being too long. But it was too long, and what was it? Because I walked out the cinema, and I was just angry that they had so much time, and yet it still seemed rushed.
No.
Yeah, that's basically it. It still seemed rushed because one of the things, I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings films, but a friend has, and he was telling me how the last one, there's a massive ending. The ending just goes on and on because it gets everything gets ended fully, and you'd think that would sort of be the case with The Hobbit, but no, it's not. I don't think it ended very well.
Well, it
ended very clean.
Yeah, well, it has to, because it leads into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't. So, I don't know. I don't know how well the book was and that sort of thing, seeing it was the first one, but it just seems sort of like a... Well, it glazed over characters and things like that.
Okay. Well, I think the book ended well, but that's because it was a shorter story overall. Like, it didn't have to end 3 films worth, unlike the film.
Okay, well, right, but there was still... How many dwarves were there? 7?
7. That seems like the right number, but I think it was like 9. No, 13, wasn't it? Maybe?
Was it 13?
I think it was 13.
I honestly know nothing about them from the films. No. Now, the one thing the one thing I'm looking forward to, and actually another thing, is that apparently deleted scenes from some of the previous Hobbit films make up for this, where you don't get properly introduced to some of them.
Okay.
But then there's going to be a fan edit at some point, and someone's going to cut out all the crap and put in all the deleted scenes and it's actually going to be a good film. But until then, it's too long, and it sucks.
Okay. Well, there we go.
And the CGI is quite bad.
No, not again. Come on.
Yes, again, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
They spent. I mean, there was they're really good at starting. Really good. Dragon, great. All the money was spent on the dragon. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think a lot of the CGI not being as good is just because they split up the films, making the budget probably all over the place. Because they had the money, but I think, there was got to be some problems there with... I think that's what did it, splitting up the films. Because it couldn't be as focused and controlled.
But it was all filmed back to back, wasn't it? That's why there was...
Well, they went back to record more. So it kind of was, but they were kind of, as they were filming it, Peter Jackson made the decision to split the films and then had to make that work.
Okay.
Right, anyway, so number 1. I'm sure you know what it is already.
No, what was number 1 then?
It's Transformers 4.
No.
Yeah, number 1.
No.
The only film to gross over $1 billion this year.
I'm done.
You're done.
I'm out. That cannot be number 1.
That's number 1. It's mostly
How?
Well, like I said, the American market, it was Guardians of the Galaxy was number 1. Transformers was in there, but it wasn't number 1. So, I think the reason why it's number 1 is because just internationally, it does so well. Like, Transformers just does well in anywhere. Like, really? Where, something like Guardians of the Galaxy isn't going to just do well anywhere because of the way it is. But Transformers is just big robots fighting, so it just translates better, So there's still like a lot of market that you never think about. Like it probably did amazingly in China, stuff like that, which would have really boosted the sales. So in terms of the UK box office, I don't know where it came, but I think it's just when a film clicks with every single sort of nation to some degree, accumulatively it's just going to do better than other films.
Well, I would have agreed with you if this was Transformers 2.
Right.
But this is the 4th one. How can people still be interested in this franchise?
It's just
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He's great.
I didn't think it was a bad film, and I will stand by that. I think there was some dumb stuff in it, but if you go... I don't think it deserves to be the number 1 film of 2014.
Yeah, that's the thing that's getting me.
But it's still not a bad film. Did you see it?
No.
Well, then you don't know.
I don't know, but it doesn't deserve to be 1. No.
Okay, so what was your number 1 film of 2014? Or which one stood out to you, at the very least?
Interstellar.
Really?
Yes.
You said that was like I
complained that it tried too much. In terms of ideas.
Okay.
But which meant some things were they were rushed. But I don't know, I can respect it for trying, and I think if it was a little bit, I don't know, when you put it up against those other films, it just seems more original because it was.
Well, you don't have to pick from this top 10 list. Just any film that you went to go see that stood out.
Oh, well, then we're getting into films 2014. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's why I said the list as like a nice refresher.
Yeah, I don't think there's many I would have seen.
There was the Lego Movie came out this year.
Yeah.
No. Little Lego people.
No.
Dancing around, having fun.
Didn't see it.
Oh. Got it on Blu-ray. I mean,
that's good.
It's a fun flick.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I really
not
like
for
it.
the Oscar people, though.
No, apparently not.
Apparently not.
It is weird. When I watched that film, I definitely really like it, and most of that is because of the animation. But in terms of the comedy, there is something slightly off about it. Like, it doesn't have the timing of Pixar films, and it doesn't quite have the distinct feel of, like, the Shrek ones. Very, good at making jokes in that animated form. It kind of has its own sort of way of telling jokes, and the way jokes are that actually, at the end of the day, aren't that funny. Like, most jokes kind of fall a little flat in that film, but it's just because overall it's very enjoyable, and because of the animation, and because what it does story-wise later on is cool. People think very fondly of it. I do like it as a film, but really, it's not that funny, I don't think. I don't think it just doesn't put it off.
That's interesting. So you're saying it was overshadowed by its animation?
Oh, not overshadowed, but I mean, it's just that's not what people got from the film. Was a film that was hilarious. Like, nobody was like, the Lego Movie, it's hilarious. People were just like, yeah, it's a great film. Like, they didn't focus on that comedy aspect. When usually with certain animated films, or a lot of them, or what you would expect from the Lego Movie is that people say, this is a hilarious film. I'm not saying there are some funny stuff in there. It's just, there's a lot of jokes, and a lot of them I don't think really work.
Okay.
I'm just saying it because I saw it in the cinema and I laughed at parts, but when I rewatched it with other people and we just weren't really laughing. Like, it wasn't. Not good. Yeah, it wasn't really awkward or anything. It was just like there was jokes and just not much of a reaction. And I think that's kind of how it was in the cinema as well. I just kind of overlooked it because there were jokes that did work, and I just liked it overall. Because I don't know, they just seem a little off.
When's the last time you laughed at a film?
And
I mean proper laugh.
Right, okay, so now the question I'm thinking of is, what films have I actually proper laughed at? Overall, I don't know, I rewatched Austin Powers 1, and while there's a lot of jokes where it's just like, okay, that's a bit silly, a bit much, it did still make me laugh. Like, more than I should really admit.
Yeah, I think Austin Powers is good. It's a good choice.
It was just little things in there, just like, were just funny. Just, that, like, it was, I didn't think that film would hold up at all, but I rewatched it and it was like, hey, this is actually alright.
Did you watch any other ones? Are they as good?
No, I only watched the first one. I need to watch the other two.
See, I remember finding Goldmember really funny when I was younger, but apparently that's like the worst of them now.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't want to watch the other two because of like Mini-Me and all that stuff. I know that the other two films are probably going to be that stupid, childish sort of films that I remember. I might just be wrong, but that's just, I have a feeling that's what it's going to be like. But the first one is a very straight James Bond parody with like Mike Myers doing the human that he likes to do. Like, it's very to the point, and the jokes, it all works, but I have a feeling that the other ones are not going to be like that.
Okay.
But I could be wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, just wondered, that's all.
Yeah. But films of this year, I don't know. Again, parts of the Lego Movie did make me laugh. All the stuff with Batman is funny. That's about it.
Right. Sure.
Because it's just little things. Like, I watch TV... God damn it. I watch TV shows, and I watch a lot of comedies, but not comedies I would say are amazing, but they just always... They always have a joke that just hits me the right way, and it really makes me laugh. Like, I watched New Girl, right?
What's that? What?
New Girl.
I thought, is it a show called just Girls?
No, New Girl.
Oh, I don't know what that
There is another show called Girls, I think, but that's a HBO one. No, this is New Girl, which is just like an American sitcom thing. It's not... I don't know how to really describe it. It's just like an American sitcom thing. It doesn't have a laughter track or anything, but... I don't know, it's like, I wouldn't say it's a great show, but it just hits me in the right way sometimes, with the way the characters interact and say things, that it's just like, it just really makes me laugh. Same with like Modern Family as well. I watched that, Because just sometimes when they get it right, I just can't stop laughing, even if I'm not like cracking up every episode.
You know what I've recently watched?
I don't care.
Well, is it? Well, I thought I'd have a go because I saw it on Sky something quite late one time.
Sports.
I watched Seinfeld, right?
Seinfeld's great, man.
Well,
I've seen
is
them
it
all.
Though? I don't know. Does it take a while
episodes?
to get into its stride?
Yeah, season 1's a bit. Season 1's one of those where it's interesting to rewatch, but as a way of getting you into the series, it's like they weren't there yet.
Right. Okay. I can't. I don't know where it was in terms of series, but it was. If you've watched them all, you will know.
Sure.
Jerry buys a nice jacket, suede, and he has to turn it inside out.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right, okay, because I hear about Seinfeld all the time.
Sure.
And yeah, I have watched a few clips. It's very funny, but am I missing something here? I don't understand. I thought it'd be really funny to me, and it's not. I'm kind of disappointed.
Well, what it is that it was like the ultimate sitcom. Like, it just made everything make sense. It brought everything together in such a way. It's something that that's a very early episode. I think you just gotta
go with it.
Get like a season, like maybe skip season 1, go season 2, maybe season 3, and just watch all of them. Then I think by the end of it, you'll kind of get it a bit more.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't think it's like the most hilarious show, but the way everything comes together, it again, like just ultimate sitcom, where it's just, it all ties in, I think it's great. But, I think just jumping into a random episode, especially because it's 20 years old at this point, or that episode would have been like 25 years old, you know, it's going to be hard to.
Well, I did watch a few more on that, but
oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely want to like it, so I will try.
Yeah, I say just grab just maybe go on to season 3 and just watch all of it.
I wish it was on Netflix or something.
But I think Jerry Seinfeld makes too much syndication money for that to kind of happen.
Another technical issue has just cropped up.
Sure.
I've just noticed on the bottom of Audacity I've only got 8 minutes left of this space.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Well, we could, or I could just start a new recording. It's up to you.
We're pretty much done. It's 2 hours, so
okay, yeah,
we covered a lot already.
Usually it says like 60 hours, but I must be saving this to the wrong place. So, damn.
Yeah, let's just end it off. I mean, I was planning to end off anyway because it's over 2 hours.
Fair enough. That was 2014, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. I'll give to 2014 that. There was a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, there were so many games that we didn't even list and so many films we didn't even talk about. So it's a bit daunting. But I think we now live in that age where there's so much entertainment that it's always going to be daunting. So, in a way, it kind of makes when you find a game you really enjoy really stand out, which I guess is a benefit.
In a sea of mediocrity.
Yes.
When you find something you can grab onto.
The one-man eye is king.
Ooh. Yeah, something like that. That sounds deep and professional and profound.
Something along those lines, I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Who cares? Anyway, so we're back, and we will be back every week from now on, I promise. I shouldn't promise that, but that is the plan.
That was a mistake.
But next week, I'm not busy, so we'll be there.
I might be
we'll
busy.
be there. Well, I don't care.
Okay then. Who's to say what will happen?
Choice. Yes.
Alright, we're on 6 minutes. Right, we need to stop this. 6 minutes.
Okay, cool. So don't forget to check out Joe's and my channel. We won't go into what we do, but you guys know. So thank you for being on the podcast, Joe.
5 minutes. No, it's fine. Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
See ya.